Okay, it's currently the night before I get into drag. I just styled my wig. I'm so excited to show y'all the process of how I go from boy to queen. Where I need to get new light bulbs. I got into drag the other day. The way I didn't clean up my makeup station is a mess. We are disregarding that. It's the next morning. I'm about to get into drag. We got the clean shave. Just showing y'all the pre-boy state before we turn into a fierce femme fatalian goddess. It's been a very long time since I've done an in-depth makeup tutorial. I mean, do people even watch them? I don't know, but if y'all can't learn from me and Sugar drag for dummies, then you got a rude awakening, babe. Maybe it's not for you. But, you know, the girls don't want to admit it, but I do have a few expertise on how to beat a face like a pro, so let's get started. I'm currently in oil slick because I prepped myself, cut myself shaving. Me and Sugar realized, I mean, you know, she has her other YouTube channel, Sugar's World, where she gets more into depth with the makeup, but I was like, wait, I've never actually done an in-depth makeup tutorial, especially on my current makeup routine I'm doing. So I'm like, let's give the girls what they want and show y'all how to do drag for dummies, right? I've been doing drag makeup since 2019. It's been about 6 years. Do the math. I did, right? 6 years, yeah. This is so greasy looking right now is because I feel like that's the first step for drag makeup. You have to have that skin prepped. You cannot be a dry mess because you're about to be powdering and putting a shitload of makeup on. So you want that to start sleek. I use a nice Cetaphil moisturizer. I have an eye cream somewhere. But we're going to start out with our handy dandy Elmer's glue. Hot glue. I swear, when I first started doing drag, this was the hardest part for me. I was like, oh my god, why does it not work out? And the videos I watched, I feel like they didn't explain. I remember I'd always do all these layers and it would always end up flaking off. My biggest tip when it comes to brow cover is only brush through it once. So you got the glue, you want to get it all up in, girl, my hair. You want to get it all up in there, go back and forth so the glue just gets everywhere. Oh my god, I feel like we're going back to the basics right now. I normally never explain this because I'm like, girl, we know how to cover a brow, but some people don't, so. Okay, so then you just want to really brush through it. Only do this once, and then you're going to add the other layers, but do not brush through it once you do the first layer. Otherwise, that's when you're going to run into the flakiness, and it's just going to flake off, so do not do that. I mean, if you're going to be a drag queen, you got to learn how to glue down those brows or shade them off. Some queens do that and that works, but you might look like you're an abducted alien during the day, but because I see the queens that just use their normal boy brows and I'm just like, what are we doing here? I feel like brows are the easiest way to feminize a face when it's a little bit higher. And I know some girls have more prominent brow bones. I'm a little bit more on the lucky side. I have more of a flat forehead, but I've done makeup on people that have heavier brow bones, and the way when you raise that eyebrow and you put the crease where the brow is and push that back, that's what's always going to give that feminine illusion. So I don't know. And also, I don't like to look like my boy self. I like to transform into something else, and that's why I love makeup so much. You know, over the year, I think when me and Sugar first started out, it was way more clowny, if you will. It was more like that brat style stamp. But over the years, I've learned to incorporate my actual features in because that's what makes you, you know, to show your natural beauty underneath. Well, as much as you can with drag, right? Because don't get me wrong, I've seen the plastic makeup tutorials and I love her. She's gorgeous, but not everyone can follow just a no makeup routine when they're trying to transform from male to female. I'm like, babe, that's a woman, you know, like her face is already so feminine. So if we're just applying chapstick and mascara and a tiny little lash, that's not really going to work for the masses, especially if you're a little harder in the face. But I love a good challenge. Sometimes I actually lick it to really get it to stay. And then I always take a paper towel to clean it up on top, because then you don't want just glue on your forehead. That's gonna lead to flaking as well. But makeup and transforming my features is truly my favorite part about doing drag. I'll never get tired of it. And even you'll see today with my look, I'm actually inspired by this Be Goth doll, Infinity Abyss. Don't judge her hair, I still have to do her hair. This is definitely more of an alternative look I'm doing, so I'm going to show y'all more of the experimental type of makeup. Sugar is going to show you more of a, I guess, classic drag beat. But as you can see, her makeup, I'm going very scary doll. Because sometimes, you know, it's fun being hot, but sometimes I want to be scary hot, you know? But I feel like in all the drag tutorials, when I first started drag, they never talked about really studying your face and features and really understanding what makeup is going to work best for you. Because not all, I could tell you all these things that work for me, but it might not work for you. So everything has to be adjusted for yourself. And I have done it all. I feel like, especially if you're starting out with drag or just makeup in general, experimentation is key. That is what is going to get you to the next level. Do not be afraid to change it up and look a mess. I mean, I've had my crazy days, but also I've always been very kind of harsh on myself and very self-analytical. So after a drag look in the beginning, the next day I'd be like, oh no, this and that, and I would kind of be hard on myself. But it was always for my benefit. Any mistake always leads you to getting better, and you learn from it, and you learn not to do that. A lot of times you don't even know what you don't want until you do it. So you got to just experiment and do it all. Experiment with little colors every single time. Do maybe change the lid shape, maybe change the brow shape. Just always do little things because it keeps it new and fresh. I'm always just like, do people even care about makeup tutorials anymore? I mean, I don't know. People ask for them, but then they don't even watch them. So I'm just like, But you could watch all the tutorials in the world, but you're not going to get better until you actually start practicing yourself. I'm actually really excited for this video because I feel like if anything, I truly am a makeup queen. That really is my favorite part of drag. And there'll be girls that wear these high fashion outfits and couture pieces, but if the mug isn't good, then I'm not interested. Especially when the queens start having someone else do their makeup, that's when I fully don't care anymore. I'm like, this isn't even your artistry. Isn't that the whole point of drag? But you know, we all do it for different reasons, so I live and let live. Some girls are just comedy girls, but I love the femme fatales, you know, that's my new favorite word, femme fatale. Most makeup, I think people think of it as, oh, it's for insecure people, it's to cover up their flaws. But for me, I think of it as a creative outlet to transform yourself into something new, something supernatural. Y'all know my little quote, might be natural when you could be supernatural, but it's true. So we gotta glue down the sideburns as well because we don't want the boy sideburn to be sticking out when we do the wig later. If you're questioning doing drag, I always say only do it if you are committed to the fantasy because it does take a lot of effort to transform yourself. It takes a lot of effort to also put your body goes through it. You're wearing a heavy wig, you're corseted, you're cinched, you know, if you really wanna give the full thing. So when it comes to drag, the cool thing is that it doesn't just stop at makeup, it comes into hair too. So I feel like my biggest advice to someone starting, before you even do your makeup, honestly, take some pictures of your face, figure out what face shape you have, because then you could really go from there and be productive. Because say if you have a really long face and you're doing, I see girls with longer faces like the Corey Kings, Alaska, and they'll do makeup that kind of just goes up. And I'm like, no, if you have a longer face, if you're trying to get a more feminine face shape, which is more heart shaped, we should be accentuating the cheeks, right? So instead of going straight up, I would recommend going more out. Even for me, I've gone straight up with my makeup and it just never looks right. Some people need it if they want to create more structure, they have a more round face. But a longer face or just maybe in between, I would always just go more out. You want to create as much volume here for feminization, right? In the typical sense. It doesn't just stop at makeup, then it's angles too. If you're really low, that's going to get the jaw, you're going to look masked, right? But then if you're high, you're going to get the cheekbones and look dainty and petite. So it doesn't just stop at the makeup, it's hair, outfit, you know, lighting, angle. This is for hair too, that's a whole other video, but someone like Alaska or Corey King, they're just coming to my mind. They have a detox with longer faces. You should never, if you have a long face, you should never do long straight hair, because then it's just going to accentuate how long that face is. If you have a longer face, maybe wear a bang and have hair that goes out like this, really as much width as possible. But even for me with drag, I like to proportionize and have it go out to my shoulders at least, because then you're just this tiny, dainty thing. And I say this with love because I have done it all. I have experimented. I have had flop moments with my looks for sure. But like I said, it's always all a good thing. It's all for growth. That's my biggest takeaway. I feel like when I look at other drag queens' makeup, you can tell when they're just following other people's tutorials and doing makeup the right way they think they're supposed to in a typical drag sense. But it gets so boring because you can tell they're kind of just doing things for no rhyme or reason. They're doing all the right steps, they're contouring, they're doing all the stuff, but they don't really even understand why they're contouring or why they're putting things in the certain space. And I feel like that's what takes you to the next level when you understand why the makeup does what it does. Especially when we're jumping ahead, but even when it comes to blush placement and stuff, it all comes down to the face shape you have. I mean, the queens are only putting blush up here, and then there's nothing here to shorten that mid face. And a shorter mid face, the eyes lower on the face is always gonna look more youthful, especially more feminine. So once you know that, even with me, I've realized early on, I have a good eye color and I like my eye shape, but just for drag, I would like for them to be bigger. And I just feel like in general, when you're trying to feminize a biologically male's face, it's always better to go with bigger eyes, because the bigger you paint with your eyes, now your facial features, your flesh is actually going to be more hidden. So, because if I just did people are like, what would you look like with just a little mascara? And it's like, babe, it's going to look really manly because my eyes are smaller and my face is more prominent. But when the eyes are bigger, the face isn't as prominent. So the big bones and the manly jaw, it's kind of more hidden. It is. It's an illusion, babes. That's why I feel like if you want to go softer, I feel like something you should never go soft with is the eyes. Why would you not want to make your eyes bigger and more doll-like? It's always going to come off better, especially in pictures. Oh my God. Especially the girls that want to be really natural and fish. They're afraid, oh my God, the white liner is clowny. It's like, babe, this is from afar, you know? It might look cute, your tiny little lash up close, but I've done it all. I've done smaller makeup, and I always hate all the videos from afar. I'm like, where are my eyes? You know, it gets lost. So it might seem like a lot as you're applying it, but as you go on, you're gonna realize, oh, good thing I went bigger, especially for stage, TV, anything. When it comes to color correcting the beard, I always say a little goes a long way. This is a good color. It's a Tarte Shape Tape. It's just kind of like a peach. But I used to do way more, and it just got really cakey because you got to powder it. But I mean, I've had laser, so I have less of a 5 o'clock shadow, but I always still do it. I think if you're a professional drag queen, you should definitely invest in laser because it's just going to make your skin so much softer. I've never got more compliments on my skin until I started doing it. And also, I mean, if you're just shaving every day and you know you don't want to have a beard, why would you just do that to yourself where you have to shave every day and the ingrown hairs come and the razor bumps? It's so much easier when you don't have to deal with all that. Regardless, we shall color correct. Just a little bit. So when it comes to foundation, y'all know I'm a vampire. So for the pale girlies out there, I actually use the Kimchi, the Most Concealer in the white for the highlight, and then this color for everything else. We start on the forehead. I'm actually going to do things a little bit different. Normally I put my contacts in first, but one of them is going to make me go blind. So I'm going to do my eyebrows first, and then we'll put them in. That's maybe not for the beginners. Maybe for the beginners, don't wear contacts that will literally make you go blind. It's going to make it way harder, but also, there are no rules to makeup. I know I'm teaching y'all how I do my face. I'm just showing you what I do, giving you my little expertise I've learned over the years, but there's no right or wrong way to do art of any kind. I mean, I love anyone that does something different. Even if people don't get it, even if I don't like it, I can applaud it because it's a different point of view. So we're starting with the brows. I'm going to try to do this as I look in the camera. But yeah, I think there's a lot of resistance when it comes to doing your makeup if you're trying to be a drag queen. Maybe ask yourself, is this something I'm really passionate about? I mean, for me, growing up, I was that kid in school. I was always drawing eyes and Bratz eyes, and I was so obsessed with just eye makeup and glam and lashes, you know? It's always caught my interest, so if you're not that girl, maybe figure something else out, you know? Maybe it's not for you if it's so hard for you to do. Okay, we're doing this kind of gothic thin brow. If you look at her eyebrows, they're slightly confused in the front and corpse bridey, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I did my brows off camera. Honestly, that's the one time y'all are gonna get me to shut up when I'm concentrating on my brows. But I just use this little walnut thing and we got it perfect. Then I look in the mirror and I'm like looking in my reflection because I always draw one slightly higher. So, you know, Sugar and Spice might be twins. Sometimes your brows might just be sisters, and that's okay. Once I do my brows, I feel like my face is done. Does anyone else feel the same? I just feel like brows are such an important framing part of the face. So once you get the brows done, then it kind of maps out everything else in terms of makeup. So cutting that crease. It all depends what occasion the makeup's for. Are you just staying inside? Are you on stage? Are you on TV? Are you in bright lights? For me, I'm actually going to be going to Hot Topic after this, and to promote my new song, Living Art, I want to just be living art out in public. And y'all know me and Sugar love to be thrown to the wolves. And I love taking a glam, drag aesthetic doll and putting her into real life and seeing the difference in people's reactions. And that's the fun thing about art, is being a little bit of a provocateur. And I love a female illusion, don't get me wrong, but I'm more about looking like living art. I mean, that's actually the inspiration behind my newest song. It should be out. Yeah, it's out. I worked with an amazing team of writers and my producer for this one, but this was the first, and I write all my songs, but this was the first one where I wrote the chorus melody. It was actually a year ago. I was high as a kite, kind of sleeping a little bit, halfway, still awake. Then out of nowhere, I feel like it was a download from the gods above. Do y'all ever have an artistic download? And whenever you get an artistic download, that just literally the melody came to me and I'm like, where is this coming from? I like to think when you get creative downloads like that, you always have to honor them and write it down right away. I'm always recording voice memos at random moments, and I'll be at the grocery store and I'm like trying to whisper something so I don't forget. But something like Michael Jackson said that, like, oh, if I had inspiration to write a song in the middle of the night, he would, because he didn't want Prince to steal it or whatever. But I always think that is true. You have to act on your artistic ideas quickly. But yeah, I was sleeping high and then all of a sudden it came to me. I was like, made by design, body and heart. I'm like living art. I cut your eye right from the start as we dance in the dark. Literally, that just came to me. I'm like, where did this come from? I'm recording it. I actually have the voice memo. I'll include it here.
Made by design, body and heart. I'm like living art. I got your eye straight from the start as we dance in the dark.
Had that title for a while. I was actually even thinking about calling my EP Living Art, which it's not. It's called something else. But because I love the title so much and I just stand by the message of being living art. But it's not just for the queens and the girls that want to wear makeup and literally make themselves look like art. I feel like it's for when you wake up in the morning, like, babe, I'm born living art even without a stitch of makeup on. I feel like when I first started doing music, people probably thought I was just gonna be doing bitch tracks, like I'm so hot. And yes, I still do that. I literally love that. Hello, my first single, You're Not Hot. But I'm excited that y'all are starting to see my true message that's coming out with my music, because I really just want to make people feel empowered and inspired. And I love listening to living art, my own music, or just music in general that makes you feel inspired, confident, bad bitch, energy. So basically, I had that title, I had that melody for a couple months. And then I did a session last April, and my producer had this amazing beat, and I was like, and I was floating around some other title ideas, but everyone loved living art. They were like, oh my God, that melody is amazing. And it just turned into what it is now.
Made by design, body and heart. I am like living art. I got your eye right from the start. I am like living art.
But that's a fun thing, even just learning Spice's voice and how I want her to sound, because it's a character's voice, Obviously, I have a man's voice. If I were to actually sing it would be like, made by design, body and heart. But her voice is like softer, it's sexier. I cut your eye right from the start. I'm like living art. I just think it's an empowering thing to think of yourself as art. I mean, even just coming into this physical world, becoming a human, we're taught to not know our own divinity and that all the power is outside of us. And it's like, oh no, babes, we are so much more powerful than we even give ourselves credit for. We're creating this movie of ours. So why would you create a crappy movie? What? No. Create the movie and write the script where you succeed and are triumphant. My biggest tip when it comes to doing drag eyes is if you really want to give the fantasy, you have to create new shapes. So cutting the crease higher, adding the black line. Now we're going to go in and add some black shadow to kind of diffuse that line. So we're literally just going to go like that and kind of blend upward. And it's all a bunch of tiny little steps and it all comes together at the end. I feel like that's definitely the thing with drag makeup. You just gotta trust the process because you will look crazy in the beginning. And I take a bigger blending brush with a gray instead of black to kind of just blend that up, whatever black we just put there. Okay, so this is actually covering, this is actually where my old eyebrow was. That's where the new crease is going. So now, and that's why we glue the brows, just so we have more space to create. So now you can already see the difference, how much more defined that is compared to, this is just very blank. You could just leave it like this, but once you add the lash and stuff, you're gonna need more smoke to cover up that brow bone. Drag makeup, it's all about the details and going back in and adding definition. I actually just penciled my brows back in with black eyeliner to get it really black. But now I'm just kind of diffusing the edges with some black shadow. Okay, contacts are in. I am so obsessed. I actually can see a little bit with this eye. I thought I'd be fully blind with it. But as y'all can see, I feel like I'm actually giving her, she has the heterochromia, different colored lens. There's so many sides of drag. It's not just female illusion. There's also alternative sides, and you could just really have fun and do anything you want. But with these lenses, I'm feeling the fantasy. I just put my eye drops in because those are key. Now I'm just going in with this Kiehl's under eye cream. It is so good. I swear by it. I use it every night and also before I do drag. Just because you want a really good under eye creamy base before you do any eye makeup. Because by the eyes is always where it's going to be the driest. Now that I'm sharing more of my spiritual beliefs, you know, I know not everyone's always going to agree with it and everyone's allowed to have their own beliefs. I mean, hello, I'm a firm believer that we're all the main characters of our own little movie that we're projecting, so as you should. It says, I'm allowed to believe what I believe. I think you are allowed to believe what you are allowed to believe. That's why even growing up, when I watched Housewives, I always, oh girl, my eye, whew. Always loved the housewives that were controversial or the villains or had something to say. If other people didn't like them, it was just me. I liked them, you know? I like them because of that. And I don't need people to have the same views as me. I could be friends with someone that doesn't like the same things as me. It's completely fine. I think that's what makes the world go round. I don't think that we should always be just so conditional to only everyone that thinks like us and talks like us and likes what we like. No, I think that's how you learn, from being around people that are different from you and do have different beliefs. So I'm all for it. It was funny because I think I said in the last video, and I feel like I'm saying the basics, like if you're part of the spiritual community, I'm not really diving into too much. I think I just said, never say that you're unlucky and never say that you're depressed. And they were like, what? They were like, what do you mean? I don't choose to be depressed and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, babe, I never said you choose to be depressed. But what I do say and do believe that you can choose to have better thoughts. So, but also if you are depressed, right, why would you saying you're depressed do any justice? How is that helping the situation? It's like, say if you struggle with your weight, if you have insecurities, why are you just going to focus on that and just talk about how overweight you are? Maybe start talking about the progress you're making, or start thinking about how you can change it. You know, whenever there's a problem, there's always a solution on the other end. I really think that the biggest difference between someone that's enlightened and truly awakened compared to someone that's not is how they react when they hear that your thoughts create your reality. An enlightened person, they're going to get excited. They're going to be happy. Oh my God, wow, I'm in control of my destiny and all the positive things, and I can write an amazing story for myself. Wow. But an unenlightened person is just going to be a victim and just be sad and what? Wait, you're saying I attract all the negative things? I create this depression? I create all these horrible things? I create these diseases? And that's how they're not enlightened, because they'd rather put the blame on someone else. They'd rather throw a pity party for themselves. They'd rather be a victim instead of holding themselves accountable. I mean, even for me, when I first started becoming more spiritually awakened, it's a big pill to swallow, you know. It's crazy. I was like, wait, all the bad things in my life, I attracted that into my life. And once you realize that and take accountability, it's scary at first, but then it's actually such a positive, because you realize, wait, I attracted these negative things into my life. Oh wait, I can actually attract all the positive things into my life as well. You actually realize your power. So it's actually very inspiring and empowering when you know that your thoughts create your reality. Of course, we can't control the things that happen to us, or the situations or cards we're dealt that's causing depression or just negative things in your life, but we can change the way that we think about them and the way that we react to them and the way we go about things. I've realized people want to be a victim so bad, and of course people are born into rich families, and there's the Nepo babies, and people, you know, of course, some people have better cards dealt to them when they're born. But, I mean, that's a whole other belief. Some people believe that, you know, we picked our bodies, we picked these families, we picked our race, we picked our gender, we picked exactly all this stuff to overcome it in this lifetime. So it makes sense when people don't understand it. And I'm like, oh, girl, this is the basic stuff, you know? But I think most people, I mean, we're literally taught in this society that bad things happen to us. And it's always someone else's fault. And you're the victim and this. And y'all know me. I'd rather be a villain than a victim any day. So I'm not going to just sit here and throw a pity party for myself. And because, girl, I've had my moments too. I've had my negative thoughts. I didn't always think this positively. I've had my moments as well. I have been there, done there, got the t-shirt with the depression, you know, but ultimately it's realizing it's really a good thing when you realize that you really have all the power. When you learn that there's nothing outside of you and that you're literally such a powerful, deliberate creator, it's so empowering. So now we are blending the concealer. I love how I just go from talking about all my spiritual nonsense right into, and now we're doing concealer and being a drag queen. I think ever since I had my spiritual awakening a couple years ago, it really has helped me turn into a very present person. Because, oh girl, don't even get me started on that, on the concept of time. But when you realize the concept of linear time, we have been lied to, and it's only ever just now, the present moment, that's when things really change, because you realize, oh my God, the power is in now. It's only ever gonna be right now. Even tomorrow, when it becomes tomorrow, it's not tomorrow, it's now. The power is in the present moment. That's why you see people that, I'm sure we all know there's people that they have these big dreams and goals and they're gonna start this business and yada, yada, yada. And every time you see them, years go by and it's the same thing. Oh, what happened to that business? Oh, well, you know, I'm still working on it and waiting on the right day and da-da-da and the right things. And it's like, oh my God, it's never gonna be the right thing. Even for your dreams, it's like, what, you think magically years from now, time's gonna go on and finally it's gonna be the right day to start, and it's like, no, start now. You have a dream, take a step to it now. Start that business now. Go for your dreams now. It's all now. What are you waiting for? I remember finding out about Dolores Cannon, and she talks about how life's a play and the fact that we're in a simulation and it's basically just a video game. And I remember being like, what? Like, it was so hard for my mind to wrap around that we're not actually physical beings. We're really just spiritual beings in a human body. And I just didn't understand that. I was like, what? Like, but then after listening to this guy, Mark, he really talks about how everything we've been told really is a lie. But now I love it. I love knowing that your life is your own little mini video game. So in my video game, I decide to be the main character. And you should too. Be the main character of your own fucking movie. Don't be a side character. Why would you ever do that? No. And honestly, just being in LA, you will learn everyone's for themselves, and as they should. So be for yourself and get in alignment with who you truly are. So when it comes to the base with drag makeup, especially if you're a biological male, I feel like there's always such an emphasis on contour and this, but I feel like we already have the contours, right? Contour is really for people that maybe have a rounder face, a softer face, and they want to add dimension and create that. But for me, I already have the contours, you know? So, of course, you need a little bit of something, but I think there should be more emphasis on blush placement, because that's actually what's really going to feminize and add life back into the face, especially for the pale girlies like me. So I like to kind of place it more in the center of the apples, because also that will shorten the face and make it look more youthful. But also I bring it back up onto the temples just a little bit. So we are just going to, I kind of do this face like, really try to keep it to the apples. I used to not do this, like a cream blush. But I love this cream blush because it's less cakey, you know. If you're applying all this blush, it ends up kind of just getting very cakey on the face. But this is also from Kimchi. Oh, wait, no. Jeffree Star. Also, for all my pale girls out there, I found this on TikTok. I get all the good products off TikTok. It is from Judy Doll. I think it's a Korean brand, but it's such a good cool tone contour for us pale girls because a lot of times it just gives orange and I'm like, girl, we need a borderline gray. So I just put that on the jaw. That is definitely where I focus my contour because it's a very easy way to feminize if we cut out that jaw just a little bit, but not too much. So then we are going to blend. It looks crazy up close. Like, what is that? But from afar, it's like, ew, I feel like such a drag queen doing that. Like the Liz Edwards. How did they do that? The tongue pop? The cream base is done. Now you want a powder. For all the beginners out there, this is what's going to lock your makeup in place all day. So we're going to powder, powder, powder. And I know the gays are no stranger to some white powders, but this is a different type of powder. The girls are baking. I look back on my old drag videos and I was doing way too much. It was like way too much white powder. But yes, this is gonna lock her all in. So yes, once everything's powdered, then I just go back in with a nice little contour just to kind of redefine what we powdered over. Gotta get that forehead. But yeah, makeup really is just a learning curve. I feel like you can learn so much from a tutorial, but it's all gonna be about when you apply it for yourself and learn for yourself. Because certain things that I do might not be good for you. You might need more of an extreme contour. You might. Okay, so my camera died, so I snatched my nose off camera. But my biggest tip when it comes to noses is study your own nose. It's gonna be different for everyone. Honestly, it's taken me years to figure it out for myself. But I feel like less is definitely more. Basically, you just wanna bake the sides to try to take away the actual shadows and bring your natural shadows in more so it looks thinner. So I kind of just take my concealer and dab, 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 and then I do a little bloop to kind of lift up. But that's what we did for the nose. Now I'm gonna go into my favorite part, which is the under eye area, because I feel like it makes such a difference. I'll see drag queens and they're like, I take 10 minutes to do my makeup. And I'm like, girl, you didn't even finish. Like when I see a drag queen with nothing underneath, I'm like, what? There's these amazing artists I follow. They're just cis girls on Instagram, and they're out mugging the drag queens because the drag queens want to be so natural. It's like, what happened to the glam? Where's the makeup? The girls don't want to wear makeup. I don't get it. For me, I never wanted to look natural because my favorite dolls, I mean, I grew up loving Bratz compared to Barbie. I liked dolls that looked like they had makeup on and a juicy plump lip and a smoky eye and glam, you know, like I didn't like the dolls that just looked like a pretty smile and natural and neutral colors. Like, no, show me the makeup. When I first started doing makeup and doing drag, I was like, okay, I'll inspire the feminine gay boys that want to express their feminine side with their artistry. But the biggest gag was when we started blowing up on TikTok. Our audience, I think, was 90% women. It still is, mostly gay women. And I love that. And a lot of them say that we inspire them to express their femininity. And I think a lot of times, of course, it's even more taboo for a man to dabble into women's clothing or hair and makeup. But I think even women, I get why me and Sugar would be an inspiration to them, because even women, their femininity is policed, and oh, that's too much makeup, and then the male gaze, and oh, that's not enough, and oh, you're asking for it, and da 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 da, whatever they say. And the connotations of a girl wearing a lot of makeup, they think she's promiscuous and it's for men. It's like, babe, no. There are some glam girls that want to do it for ourselves, and we want to look cunt and fabulous for ourselves, not you. But even this makeup is not just for me, it's for the glam girls, you know, it's for the glam gays. So it's like, babe, it's not for you. But that's why it's nice to know that we can inspire everyone of every gender, of every walk of life, to just realize life's not that serious. It's literally a video game. It's literally a simulation. So create the life that you want to live. And that starts with how you present yourself. Because sometimes I just be getting bored. So why not have a star eye and look like a corpse bride be goth doll every once in a while? Why not? So today I'm tight lining here. Normally I don't do that, but tight lining is just putting black in the actual inner corner of the eye. And then you put black here to kind of bring the eye down. And then when you put the black here, it lifts it up. So this is going down, this is going up. It creates more of a feline type of look for a cat eye. But normally I leave the white open here and kind of make it more rounded for that more doll-like appearance. But the Be Goth dolls, they're more So we're gonna tight line there. So yeah, just kind of add black here. And then comes the fun part of smoking it out. Tight lining technically makes your eyes smaller. So that's why you just gotta add the black to then smoke it out. The power of smoking out your lash line, it brings your eye lower on your face, which you want. Also just makes it appear bigger. I mean, think about a hole. If a hole on the, think about a hole. But if a hole on the ground outside, think of like a sewer or something, there's just a hole, okay, it looks small, right? But say if that hole has like black shadow around it, now basically that hole is taking up a bigger space rather than if there's no shadow. Like say if this hole is just a hole, but if it has a shadow around it, a haze that's fading out from it, now it's taking up more space compared to if there's no shadow, now it's just that hole and it's smaller. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. In with that gray we used up top and do the same thing and just really blend it out. The bigger blending brush is really gonna let you be kind of messy with it, but it really just gives it that hazy look. And it also really helps my aesthetic because it looks more just gothic and angsty and mad at the world. Less clean, you know. Okay, I finished my blush off camera. Put this bottom lash on. Sugar's on her way to come help me film at Hot Topic. Because like I said, I don't just shop at Hot Topic. I am the Hot Topic. Thank you. My Housewives tagline. But I'm putting on these bottom lashes. These are bigger for me. I'm like, oh, the girls are getting into drag today. I have my little energy drink and now suddenly I'm feeling like, ooh. But sometimes I just get bored and I just get excited to give. That's why it's so fun to bring the drag out into public. Girls don't want to wear bottom lashes. I used to do individuals, but I kind of just love putting a full boom. Because look at the difference. Like, up close, people might think it gives spider, you know. But then from afar, it's just... It's so funny. Me and Sugar were just talking on the phone. And the amount of times we go, oh my God, if people heard this conversation, they would be living. I always wonder, I'm like... I mean... It's weird to think about how you're perceived, right? What other, like Bruce said, I mean, he ate with that. What other people think about you, it's literally none of your business. But sometimes it's just interesting to see what people would think, because sometimes I'm like, I think I have to be Miss America to even be somewhat likable. Again, I do not care about being liked. I'm just being me. You could like me, you could hate me, good, do whatever you want with it. But I'm always like, oh, maybe if people heard our real conversations when we kind of go in on the girls, would they like when we're shady? I don't know. It's all in good fun. Okay, we are going to put these lashes on, like, boom. Okay, lashes are on. Now it's time for the lip. Oh, you're trying to do, oh shit. Let me do this off camera. I just finished my lips with some gloss. Now I'm going in and adding her little sewn together mouth, which I'm just obsessed with. You can stop, you don't have to do all this, but I actually love this. It's so fun. Let's see if I can do this with the viewfinder. I love this. It's very like a sewn together doll. Oh, girls, we are adding the details today. I'm not gonna stop here. I'm also adding little piercings because that's what I love about the Be Goth dolls so much, is that they do have the piercings and little tattoos. Some days you wake up and you want to look really unapproachable. Today's one of those days. But I love looking like a complete bitch, but secretly being nice. Okay, that should do. And the mug is done. Let's get this body on. Okay, so I'm currently drawing the tattoo that she has, because I'm crazy, and I'm like, girl, let's add another little cunty detail. Kind of looks crazy because I'm rushing because I want to get to Hot Topic in time. But it's like this cool little scorpion thing if you actually look at the doll. So that's what we are doing. But that's the cool thing about drag, is that it all comes together with the details. And, you know, you don't have to do all this, but for me, it's what makes it so fun. We're going to touch her up. Okay, we're currently on the way to Hot Topic. I'm kind of squished in this car. Hopefully the hair doesn't hit. Always with 20 minutes to closing. But I'm like, let's give them a show. They're probably thinking they're about to clock out for the night, and then this living doll walks in. You look so amazing. What are your tips for the girls at home that are trying to keep their makeup on all day, running to Hot Topic and all?
Girl, you just have to have some faith and a good setting spray.
What setting spray is
Girl,
Spicy
I don't
Fruits?
remember. Once the wig is on, the brain cells leave the building.
What do you feel like is the most fun thing about your makeup tonight?
I just love doing the different contacts, and I feel like I'm giving core line or something. I'm not only living art. I was going for Big Op doll, but I feel like I'm living dead, like a living dead doll.
Is red Spice's signature color for this era, or is it
Oh
black?
yes, the living art era, it's all red, a little bit of black, but just wait for the next single because a reinvention's coming.
Girl, I live.
We're walking in the mall right now. A little girl was like, "That's scary." I'm like, "I'm your worst nightmare." Mwah. But
I feel like it's an episode of Monsters Inc. and you immortalized into a real person. It's just so hilarious.
we are trying to find the hot topic.
Well, girl,
Girl, ask someone. Ask someone. Ask someone. Oh, thank you. Do you know where Hot Topic is? Oh, no way.
Yeah, well, Foot Locker will work.
Girl, let's find something else. Oh my god.
Okay, let's go somewhere. Okay, thank
Okay.
You can try Sears.
Okay, wait.
camera.
No, where are we supposed to go?
Let's.
Okay, then we have to go in a really ungodly area. No, but now my whole thing. Wait. I'm freaking out. What am I supposed to do?
What? Okay, there's always somewhere.
But now my whole thing of Hot Topic doesn't work.
Well, we're gonna come up somewhere.
Okay, I'm not walking around aimlessly. Wait.
Go find Auntie
I
Anne.
thought No, okay, let's leave. Let's go back. I don't need anything here then. People are looking around at me like they've never seen a living doll before. A living dead doll.
You look amazing.
We show them how we went to the Beverly Center. They said there was a Hot Topic in there. We get there, they go, "There's no Hot Topic. You can try Sears." I was like,
I guess you're the Hot Topic.
I know. I was gonna do my whole bit, like, whatever. Like, oh, sweetie, I don't just shop at Hot Topic. I'm the Hot Topic.
Well, now we're just taking pictures, but this is the makeup look.
This is the makeup look, RB living. It really comes together with the hair and the outfit at the end. Back up, girl.
I shine bright, made by design, body and heart. I am living art. I got your eye.
And that's how you do Spice's living art drag look. Mwah. Are we living? Are we breathing? Are we dying? I mean, I'm kind of both. I'm living art, but I'm like a living dead doll at the same time. Get into the fantasy, baby.
I got your eye right from the start. I am living art.
What, Spice, what's your tips for a flawless drag mug?
Honestly, just be creative, be talented. Not bad for a bitch with no talent, right?
Girl, got those Pinterest bored. Well, if you want to be sickening, just copy what she does.
Yes, here's all my pictures. Sugar was helping me get cunty pictures to document the art, but I'm off to go. What's your line? Shave our grandma's back?
Yep.